let's talk then about ins and outs. Our notable out was, of course, Davy Carson going off to Inverness Caledonian Thistle, and everybody wishes him well. It's a tough act to replace. Do you feel that you've done that?
I'd like to think so. I'm confident, wish Davy all the best. He went with good wishes. He's went into professional football. Delighted for him. He had a great season last year, and he'll be the first to admit that he had players around that to help him as well to do that. He won some great accolades last year, player of the season in the league, and he had a great season from the first minute of pre-season right way through. He was great. We have signed some players. Sean Reid is a similar type of player who's got a bit more experience at this level, who I'm sure the fans will love him. Sean's a player who he'll do defensive duties, he'll create chances, he'll score goals, and I think we've got a ready-made replacement for Davy Carson.
Yeah, speaking of Sean, as you mentioned, he's something like 15 goals in National League North. So for him to come to us and see us as that ambitious project, it's a real coup for the club to get a player of his calibre. It
is. I mean, it's surprised that Blythe knows the technicality why he was available, and we grasped at it, and we got him in straight away, which was really good for the club, good for the backing from the chairman and that. And he's a player that we've admired for a long time. He's come and he's improved every season. He's at a good age. I think he'd be good in the dressing room from what I know from him, and I think he's really looking forward to the season, and we've got some other new signings in place as well.
Yeah, so just a very brief word then on a couple who we signed very recently, Michael McKeown and Ben Harmison. Talk about them briefly, but also if you could look at it in the context of the squad, are we stronger from last season, do you think?
We like to think so, yeah. I mean, we have lost a couple of players. Danny Carson goes with good wishes, Danny was great for us. John Fry I've had all through my senior management, 9, 10, more than that, 11, 4 years at Delville, then the time I had him here, so John was just a dream to work with, but his chances were limited here because of his, apart from every other weekend he seemed to be going to a wedding, but his work commitments, bless him. But what a great lad who I wish him all the best, and be friends forever in life because he's a top lad. And Danny's a good lad who was great for the club. He was very unlucky last year. He was just getting into his season when he got an injury, and it was probably frustrating for him, the rest of the season trying to get games, and we wanted him back in, and and obviously he's missing his brothers, so his brothers went as well. So on that side, wish all the players that have gone. On the playing side, Sean Reid has already mentioned, fantastic addition to the club. Chris Thackeray, fantastic addition to the club, who've played, and what I say, they both played higher. Ben Holmes and Mike McEwen are players that have been on the radar, we've seen them, we've liked them. Ben's played against us, tried to get him last year.
Scored against us for North Shields, if I remember right.
Yeah, when he was there. And it's an area that I think we need a bit of competition. We've got competition in midfield, in defence, and you need it as a forward as well. And I think that will only blossom and cherish Liam Henderson and Jack Foley as well at that top end as well, because we're looking forward to that. Jack was the only player who came, not the start of the season, he came in October, and we're looking forward to working at him as well, because he's never played at this level, and he was frustrated last year. So it's going to be a big pre-season for him. But Liam, for me, is the top striker in the league. So we're in a good place. And the two lads, I say Michael was a player that we tried to get a year or two ago, decided to stay in the Northern League. As his own mission last year, he probably was disappointed how last season went at West Orton, because he didn't play a great deal of football or as much as he wanted to, but he's chomping at the bit now. So he's a player again, a lad to the squad. And we've got a couple of other young players coming in. We'll announce in the due course, which will also be players who will, want to join in and flourish at this club, who will want to be part of this club, and it's great for the future of the club.